guys, I'm Peter DeWet, I'm the owner of Excelsior. We're going to be braaiing tonight, Braai, South African for barbecue. We're going to be doing some lamb chops, which are these lamb chops here. As you can see, they're nice thick cut from our local butchery. I marinated them in a bit of lemon juice, olive oil, rosemary and garlic and salt. I'll show you how to cook them a bit later, and we're going to be preparing this with some our DeWet family special, which is they call the rooster cook, which means griddled cakes. It's basically breads cooked on the open fire. And when we're preparing this with our Excelsior Cabernet, as you know, it's a big favorite in the US market. And I think there's nothing better than having fried lamb chops with a cab. Let's talk about a typical South African braai setup. This is our braai. We mostly cook on wood. Gas is not quite cool in South Africa. This is citrus wood from the farm. We find it's got makes fantastic coals. You make a nice bed of coals. I'm not using this today. This is a coal maker. So if I wanted to cook for a lot, you can have a side fire, and then we can just shift the coals across. So with the lamb chops, I like to braai fat down first. So we actually use a skewer. So we just pop them on like this. Like that, and then I'll just pop them on that side down first, like that. The idea would be to render the fat, so we get the fat cooked through, and then we'll have we just pull it out and cook them open side for a few minutes so you can have a nice cooked fat, but a medium rare braai chop. We're going to now do our roaster cook. So the dough, nice and risen. We're going to pop them on the fire. As you can see, I've raised the grid because with bread you don't want such high heat. You want a lower heat. These coals are a little bit too hot. So the way we do it in South Africa is we put your hand above the coals and you count slowly. And if that was about a 2 count, it's still very hot. But up here, I'm at about a 6 or 7 count before it's too hot. So that means it's kind of right. At 10 it's probably too cold, so 6 or 7 is perfect. So I'm going to pop them on the top here. Very important when you're braaiing bread is the first turn has to be relatively quick because the dough will run through the grid and then it will get stuck. Okay, they've been going for about 2 minutes now, so I'm going to quickly flip them. It's just getting a little bit hard there. This normally takes about 10 to 15 minutes. How I know it's done, and this is why I always turn them with a hand, because you can kind of feel. If you tap it like this, it echoes. It means it's set. So it's a lot of to do with touch. Basically, if you want to also do a final check, you can break one open and see how beautifully that's cooked all the way through. Perfect. That smells amazing.